It's really gray and cold and dismal outside, and I'm just in the kind of gloomy mindset. I thought I would talk a little bit about overpopulation and the state of the planet and my thoughts on those things. So earlier I asked okay, nope. So it's really cold and dismal and gloomy outside, and I'm just in that kind of mindset where I thought I would talk a little bit about overpopulation and the state of the planet and the state of disrepair that we're in. And it's just one of those afternoons. So I asked the question earlier on homesteading, what can we do to lessen our impact on the earth? And a lot of people commented right away, die or commit suicide. And people said that humans are a parasite on this earth. And I have to tell you, I agree. You're not supposed to say it because there's a lot of manifest destiny people out there who think that people are here as a gift. You know, this planet is a gift to us, and we're just here to take what we want and reap the benefit. And that's a really exploitative and entitled mindset, and I don't know how to argue with people like that. But there are a lot of people, very science-minded and environmentally friendly minded people who are out there thinking basically the truth, that people have taken over almost every inch of this planet, and we've put down concrete, and we've created plastics that will not degrade for the next 3,000 years. And it's really scary how we've turned away from things that are so natural to us, like our food and being close to the earth, and instead we care about things like plastic surgery and celebrity and what kind of car we're going to drive. And, you know, there's just all this waste and this greed and this gluttony and this sloth, and we have people who are just morbidly obese, and we have diseases, and we have people on medications constantly. And it's crazy how we've gone from like hunting, like we've gone from a very simple society that respected the planet and that was appreciative and respectful, and now we're like just in it to strip mine and take coal, and we're going to frack, and we're going to get oil from the Arctic, and maybe it'll spill, whoops. And it's all about company and profit and greed. And there are so many people, there are 7 billion people, so how are we supposed to turn to everyone and say, we're all in this together, let's create a better world and let's try to stop climate change? How do we get 7 billion people to agree on something? There are just too many people. And when you have people living this close quarters and, you know, people upon people, and you have buildings, apartment buildings 30 stories high, this is when you get disease. So nature has reached capacity, and it's telling us that we need to go. And that's why we have such high rate of cancer. 1 in 2 people get some kind of cancer in their life. We have things like diabetes. You're not eating right, and you're not exercising and moving, and you're not getting enough produce and healthy whole foods. And there are things like AIDS. These things, I think, exist because nature is trying to put a cap on what we're doing, which is just exponential growth and expanding and like taking over everything, and then pillaging and corrupting what was once good and pure and everything. We had this abundance, and we really didn't appreciate it. We just paved paradise, and we put up shopping malls and everything and parking lots, and it's very disappointing. So how do we go about changing that? A lot of people said that you can recycle, and you can start a garden, and you can try to live the best life you can and don't leave an impact. But just think about how many times you use the bathroom throughout the day. Every time you go pee, you're spending a gallon and a half, 2 gallons of water just to flush that down. Like, just think about every day you go to the bathroom 3 or 4 times a day or more, whatever it is. You take a shower. Some people take 2 showers a day. Some people eat meat. There's so much wasting of resources, and we just have a bad system in place. It's just a system of excess and glamour and comfort, and how do we stop that? It's not enough to recycle, I don't think. It's crazy because you'll have some people who are driving around in a Hummer, and they don't have a compost, and they aren't concerned with any of this, and their idea of a fun weekend is playing laser tag or going and shopping and going to a concert. And that's their idea of what's important to them in their life. And then you have people who want to take it a step further. They want to recycle at home. They want to do their part. They don't litter. Maybe they have a small vegetable garden. It's great. And then I really want to take it like 10 steps further, and I want to start spreading this awareness. So I want to open dialogues and get people who weren't necessarily interested in any of this stuff before. I want to get them thinking about it, talking about it, and then they in turn can spread it. So I want to talk about animal ethics and animal rights and how, you know, a huge percentage of our antibiotics in this country, something like 80%, and a lot of the food, like the grains, are going to feed animals when they could be feeding people, and we wouldn't have to be hurting these animals if we could all adopt a vegetarian, leaning towards vegan, maybe even heavy on the produce. Like, ideally, if this planet went vegan, high raw, high carb vegan, there would be so few problems, I swear, because you could grow so much food directly for people instead of having a factory farm and transporting all this water and medicine and all this pain and suffering for these animals. If we could just cut that part out. And I don't understand the argument where people say, but plants have feelings too, so why are you hurting the plants? Well, even if that's true and you believe that plants are so sacred and sentient, it takes a million times more plants, because we're taking all these plants and feeding it to the animal and then eating that, so we're getting both. If we cut out this, we would just have a small amount of plants. You could have a pound of vegetables for yourself, or you could feed 6,000 pounds of vegetables to a cow in its lifetime and then feed that cow to 100 people. So it really does not make any sense. Just doesn't make any sense. There's no way to justify it except you don't care and you think it tastes good and it's familiar, so you're going to do it. And that's just, I guess that's a natural way of looking at it, looking out for number one, right? Just yourself. But I think we've evolved past that. We've evolved out of the food chain. We have agriculture, we have transportation. We can take mangoes grown in Chile all the way up here if it's the off season. We have the ability to store food, to grow it. We have hydroponic, aquaponics. We can grow incredible amounts of food in climates where they're not even supposed to be grown. And we have seed saving. We have just very technologically advanced agriculture at this point. There's no need to be eating animals, and I think that that really, really hurts the planet. We have taken so many forests out of South America to graze our stupid cattle, and these poor cows are getting slaughtered by the tens of thousands every day. So if we just stopped that one thing, I think that if everyone took a look at their life and said, do I really need to have kids? Do I really need to eat meat? Do I really need to have a car? Could I bike? Could I save myself time, get healthier? Could I bike where I'm going instead of having a car or using the car? I think that we would be a lot better off. So using recyclable, reusable shopping bags, like canvas bags when you shop, is great. I think it's great to consider showering less every other day, once every 3 days. If you're not really sweaty, like, what's the problem? I mean, a lot of people are looking at this and they're going, right on, I already do that, that makes sense to me. A lot of people are going, you're disgusting, you're a stupid hippie. That's fine, but I want to try to inspire the people who are open to these things and would at least listen. And maybe they would think, okay, well, I'm not going to stop showering every day because that's not comfortable for me, but maybe I'll go meatless 3 days a week. I'll see how that works out. I'll talk to my mom about it. You know, she's not doing too well with her health. Maybe I'll try to get my family to grow more of their own food, or at least buy healthier stuff in the store, organic local produce. So that is my goal. And with the farm and the intentional community, I will take the best people that I could ever imagine in the world, and I will live with them and I will be inspired by them, and we are going to change the game. We are going to offer classes and make these things, all of these things, affordable so that everyone can figure out how to implement these changes in their own life. And maybe it is a little bit naive of me. Maybe if I were thinking misanthropically, realistically, maybe the best thing to do is just go full force and hope that we die out soon. Maybe everyone should have a Hummer. Everyone should eat whatever they want. And maybe we will just tear this planet down, but we will implode and people as we know it will cease to exist. And then the Earth can start to recover. Because the Earth will go on with or without us, with or without climate change. There will be a planet. So whether or not we are on it is up for debate. So part of me wants to take my purple energy and be a rainbow child and go out there and say, like, hey world, this is my indigo point of view, and I would like to try to make things better and try to heal. But maybe that just prolongs our destruction. Maybe if we all take a few steps back, it's just going to help us, you know, go on as a species and therefore make extinct another 4,000 animals before we go. I don't know. I don't want people to perish. I think that we have the potential to do amazing things. I just think that we need to change a lot about the way that we are. So I've been thinking about that lately. All these little projects running through the back of my mind. I want to start making beautiful reclaimed wood coasters and painting on them. I want to make things like mirrors set in logs and stuff like that. I have all these ideas for like tables and decorations and things that are practical. I want to start working. So I have all these art projects in mind. I really wish I had the farm so that I could have that studio space and start actually doing that and saying like, oh, this tree fell over from the windstorm. I'm going to put part of it in the compost and let it get broken down into humus, and then the rest of it I'm going to do something with it, make some furniture, something amazing. And I have people constantly coming up to me. I've been talking about the farm more, and I have friends coming up and saying, I like your idea. You know, I've never really heard you talk about that until you posted this on Facebook or whatever, and like I'm interested in that. That sounds good. So I have people saying that to me. I have people writing the page and saying, I love what you're doing. You know, check back with me. I want to be involved in this project when it starts. And I love the enthusiasm. I think that there are a lot of places that already exist, and those places you don't even have to wait. You can contact them and you could start tomorrow doing something similar. There are a lot of intentional communities out there and they're all amazing, but I want to have one that focuses on providing a service to the community, teaching, and I want to focus on one that cares about animal rights, and we take in rescues and strays, and we work on rehoming animals, and we have these animals available for people. Like the public can come and volunteer and help out and clean cages and like make sure that the pens are up to date and like everything's good, and like give the hay to them, and they can come, and it's healing. I know that Farm Sanctuary has a program where they have youth come, like people who are going through some personal struggles or just dealing with stuff. They come and they help the animals, and it's just this really symbiotic, amazing, beneficial thing for them, and they leave feeling at peace, like they helped out and like they were responsible for something and they helped someone else, and that's important. So they're just, every aspect of this farm is positive and it's healing and it's important and it's needed. I just think that everything that I want to do in some way can be approved upon, and then it's going to help the planet, really. It's so grandiose, but I think that you can make a big difference if you inspire people. And what with the internet now and communication the way it is, we can spread the mindset and the hope and the positivity like so quickly. And then the fact that we're going to be working hands-on with lots of people, and you can come visit the farm and stay for a while. You can learn about this and that, bring it home with you. You can start a community garden with some of the principles that you've learned, and it's such an amazing time to be alive. It really is. And we can go almost anywhere in the planet very easily if you have the money, but you can get around, you can go places, you can learn, you can talk to people, you can communicate. Like for the first time ever, we have these tools where you can type something in online and it will translate it for you, and you can communicate with people. And we have such potential to just rise up as like a unified force that wants good in the world, and I hope that happens. I want to be a part of it. And yeah, I think that we should stop focusing on these asinine things like who's got a beach body, and let's shame her for doing this, and let's say that abortion is the worst crime in the world when there are people today who need help. Instead of saying, I'm going to force this teen mom whose condom broke, I'm going to force this 16-year-old to go to term and have a baby for the rest of their life. I'm going to try to dictate their future. Instead of fighting for that, fight for something worth fighting for. Like, my God, it's just, I think we need to take a step back and stop caring about like this gay guy is trying to marry this gay guy, and we need to support our troops, and we need to say, what are we doing to the planet? What's going on with climate change? Why are we having all these like tornadoes and tsunamis and huge megastorms? Like, what's going on here? This isn't normal. What's up with the temperature? What's up with the melting ice caps and the fact that there are only like 400 wolves left in this area, and we're going to go shoot them all because they're like messing with our livestock? We need to stop trying to control nature and make it bend to our will, because it's not possible. I'm sorry. Like, the planet is going to fight back, and we are going to experience much harder life if we don't try to cooperate soon. So that's the video, that's the plan. And I'm just enjoying watching little birds outside and the empty persimmon tree popping around. So yeah, I'll check in very soon. This is the last week of school. I have so many projects coming up. I have 3 finals to do. I have a huge book report I have to do. I have to do my lemon germination essay, and I have a final due in that class, and I have my model to build. So I will be extremely busy. Tomorrow is my birthday, so happy birthday to me, 27. I want to work on the page more, so I'm excited to have this winter break. I won't have school starting next week. So that's a lot of time for me, at night at least, where I can recover from all of the stress. I can't believe I got through a whole semester. It seems like a month ago that I started, and I was telling you guys that I was going to take classes. But it's been really good, and I've learned a lot, and I'm really appreciative. Like, work family let me take a day off so I could do a daytime class, and that was amazing. And the people that I met were really, really awesome and inspiring and engaging and knowledgeable, and it's just wonderful. I'm very happy, and I can't wait to keep moving forward. So thank you. I hope you do your part. If you did something that you're proud of today for the planet or for your fellow man, if you did something kind or responsible or something that you're happy about, please share it below. Or if you plan to do something, I'd like to hear about that, and we can help spread this optimism because it's important.